Just your thoughts on Auburn. Obviously, it's a system that you guys are familiar with, and even some personnel that you're familiar with from last year. Does this seem like a similar challenge to what you guys faced last year?
Yeah, like you said, it's the same system. They have a really good team, really good players, so we got to be ready.
What are the challenges with that system when they have the sort of athletes Auburn typically has?
Say it one more time. I couldn't hear.
What are the challenges in what they do systematically when they generally have the kind of athletes Auburn normally has?
Yeah, I mean, they just have really good players, and they have counters for counters. Obviously, they have their system, but when you take things away, they do a great job of, taking advantage of what you're doing to take it away. That's what I noticed last year a lot is that kind of chess match. We threw something at them last year that, we're back a lot, and then they used that to their advantage. So, I mean, obviously great coaches, but talented players as well. So it'll be a challenge. Specifically athletically, no, we just got to play our game. We got to step off. We got to do the little things at a high level.
What was the first thing you guys had to take away last year that got them those flip-up dunks?
The first thing that we had to take away
from their offense.
Yeah, so I mean, last year they had 3 players, I believe, that were shooting in the mid to high 40s from 3, and so their bigs we were off because they were non-shooters, and then when you're off, you're going to be late when you're helping on those pin downs that they had, and so you have to step up on those shooters that are coming off. Well, then that leaves their big open for that. So like I said, it's always a chess match when you're playing really good teams, really good coaches.
How does this specific game at the end, this is your fifth time you've been around this, the like Indy Classic kind of game right before you're going into break, how does that help you guys reaffirm or calibrate or find out things that you need to find out going into Big Ten play?
Because it's right before break, or because it's like
I think both.
It's just a big
the
high
quality
level
of
type of
opponent
game
too at this point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it showed us last year where we were. I don't think I've ever been beaten like that before last year, where it felt like there was, like they could have done whatever they wanted. They could have won by 100 points last year, it felt like. So when you have a loss like that, you really have to kind of look at yourself and, like you said, recalibrate and figure things out. So it's just going to be a big test for us, just like Iowa State was when they came here. I mean, it kind of showed us where we were. So we got to go in and give it our all.
What do you feel like you guys have accomplished over the first, it's not quite half of the season, obviously, but the first leading up to the restart of Big Ten play? What do you feel like you've accomplished in these first 12, 13 games?
I think role definition, team identity, figuring out just who we are. We have a really deep team. I think you can see that from a scoring aspect. You can see that from a minutes aspect. You can see that from just a straight up production aspect for the people we have in our team. And we've won a lot of games against high quality opponents. And then obviously we lost to Iowa State that one game. But other than that, I think we've done a really good job.
Matt's mentioned that you've never rebounded like this before. Just what has kind of been the secret to doing it, not just early on, but consistently throughout the season?
I'd say just to focus on it. Knowing that, last year I felt like I had to score. You had to, just to be able to keep up with teams that we were playing. And to be fair, that was also always my mismatch. And now we just have so many weapons on this team that I can really focus on rebounding. I think points for me are just naturally going to come just with the flow of the offense. So if I can, turn my attention to rebounding, you kind of see the result of that.
Because if you feel, as it's for the season, but now you speak experience, you feel a bit unburdened about kind of not having to touch the ball offensively every single possession here. Your usage rate's a little bit down, but your rebounding's way up, your assists are way up, things like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my assists a little bit higher. Not gonna lie, I've been talking to our guys. We gotta hit some more shots. No, but no, like I said, it's just being around really good players, and then when it comes to rebounding, just focusing on it. I mean, there's some times where I like where it plays and run for me because I'm like, okay, I'm definitely getting this rebound, this play. Hopefully we make the shot, but if we make it, whatever. I can just focus on it.
You're seeing a higher level of kind of focus for the last 2 games defensively, a higher level of effort, things like that, the whole team.
Yeah, I just think, obviously from what happened to Iowa State, I think we had to learn from that, and we know that we have to lock in from on that side if we want to be great. And so our focus all year has been on winning a national championship, and playing Iowa State, we weren't at that level, so we got to get there somehow.